When a game comes out, usually it's got this hype, especially on release for the first month or several few weeks, depending on the kind of game it is. But then after that, it slowly starts to kind of build down and kind of just the more passionate fans of the series usually stick with it and keep playing it. A lot of people just move on to something else or go back to what they were already kind of maining as their main game. Now, the interesting thing with Zero in this case is that Zero's English release had a very unique timing in that it came out basically exactly when lockdowns were starting to get pushed worldwide. So every country was going to lockdown, everyone was stuck at home, and everybody needed something to do. Some people already had something to do and they already had their hobbies and passions and whatever hobby that they pursue on a daily basis. But Zero came out for a lot of people at the right time, where they could basically either relive Vanguard from the past when they used to play, or try out this franchise that they've never touched, but they've heard people speak about it if they've ever been in sort of like a card game friend group, for example. I can actually sit a bit further away for these, this way you can get more of a shoulders perspective, I guess. But the interesting thing with Zero is that it came out during this very unique time period. And for a lot of people, of course, they were very excited about it. It got advertised very well. They paid like big YouTubers worldwide, from other games and other whatever they do, to advertise the game. And it overall went quite well. However, with the system of Zero, a lot of people weren't very happy with it, whether it was the crafting or the packs or the just, not super free to play ability, but to an extent it is, but it's the point that a lot of people get frustrated that they can't build their decks fast enough. To be free to play, you have to have patience. You have to be patient with your rolls, with your crafting, with everything in this game, and it really takes a while, and a lot of people feels like they lost their sort of passion for the game, or like they're just patience with the game in a way, because it takes a while to finish decks if you're not actively playing all the time. And even if you take a little break, it feels quite punishing in a way. And so I've had this thought in the back of my mind for a while that, ever since the release of Set 4, so the one with Majesty Lord Blaster and, Phantom Blaster Overlord, etc., it feels like after that set, quite a few people dropped. Quite a few people, like, mostly the kind of casual player base, the ones that, got into the game because they saw an ad, got into the game because their favorite YouTuber was suggesting it or advertising it or something, or they just saw it, like one of their friends playing it. So not necessarily the die-hard Vanguard fans, but rather the other audience that wasn't already part of the Vanguard community. And I think there's, of course, quite a few reasons for that. One of the reasons we already talked about, but then the other, of course, like VP farming was a hot topic for a lot of people, and once they kind of limited that, in a way, a lot of people got annoyed that it was gone, and, left the game because of that, claiming that it's no longer free to play, etc. And on top of that, for quite a few people, ranked felt like a nightmare, and like playing against the same deck over and over again in Majesty Lord Blaster got quite annoying. So, while an issue like that, like a certain deck being top meta is, like, this is a part of any card game. Like, any card game, when it has a meta deck that is the number one most popular deck, it will always be number one most popular. You'll always face that deck more than the others in any card game you go to. Like, that's just how card games work. That's just how, especially online card games work, where anybody can get into them as long as they have an internet connection and a device. So I was wondering, at which point will Game Studio or Bushiroad decide to actually make some changes, decide to actually do something about it to kind of retain their player base, or try to re-invite the people back? Because for a lot of people, they felt that, well, Japan kept getting more stuff. Japan gets like retweet campaigns, they give you packs. Japan got like the half anniversary, which technically Global should be having next month. But for a lot of people, it just felt like, they were also not being treated as nicely as Japan. And so, at long last, in September 2020, it feels like Global has started to do things differently. It felt like Global was always kind of in Japan's shadow and just doing whatever Japan did, but rather now, it feels like they've just separated. They kind of, I used to think they're going to be just catching up on, the two games. Like, eventually they're going to do like a simultaneous set release again, and they're just going to catch up, in terms of the card pool and updates. But now it feels like they've given up on that, and I think that that's a good idea, because I think the moment they released two sets at once, that was already a leaving point for some people, because they were like, okay, this game is going too quick. And for the first time ever, Global really made big changes that were not there in Japan, but also made changes that Japan had. So I don't really play Global myself anymore. This is something to note, not because I don't like it, but because ever since July I started a full-time job, And especially now going into September, it's gotten a bit busier, and you know, working full time, streaming 3 days at least a week, and trying to upload daily, my schedule doesn't really have much time for anything else. So playing JP is like the only time I have for Zero, and otherwise I'm just gonna burn out, you know, or I'm just not gonna have enjoyment playing the game at all, because I like having the ability to go like, okay, I'm in the mood to play Zero, I will play on JP. If I'm not, I don't have to play it at all. I don't have to think about, oh, I still need to do like my dailies or something on global. So I personally don't really play global anymore, and you'll notice this, that like I don't have like pack openings for the recent set or anything like that, because I just don't have the time anymore. It's just a matter of time. It really is just a matter of time. However, I booted up my global account once again because I wanted to show you some of these changes that they've made to kind of reattract some of the players that might have stopped playing, or to, you know, keep the ones that are still there interested. So perfectly, we have lined up the reset, the daily reset, which is very important because the first change that has happened is actually for the daily login. So it has changed different to that of what it was, and also giving more packs. So now daily logins give you actually more packs, and that is a very cool thing. So we're going to log in here, and you're going to see, we're going to be reading my Mr. Keys always. And so what we have is 50 gems. This was not there before. A single pack here as before. We have 5 of the pack tokens here as before, and then 5 here as well, and 30 gems. So you get 80 total gems. You get, what is it? 6 of the things that, like the 10 that convert into a pack, and then 1 pack on top of that. So it feels like an overall increase in quality. Also, look at this, log in 2 days for 15 packs. So again, just giving out more packs just for logging in on global now as well. So that's also a very nice little bonus. So looking at all that, it really does feel like they are giving out more stuff. But that's not all. They have changed more. They've actually changed even more. And these changes are the ones that I really want to highlight especially. Now, before we get into that, they also, JP has had these like sleeve codes that have been box toppers of all the recent sets ever since VBT08. Oh, sorry, no. Ever since the Bermuda set, actually. So from the Bermuda set, then VBT08, as well as the Bang Dream set, and then VBT09, VBT10, etc. Where basically the main VRs of the TCG are available as sleeves in JP. And these are you can only get them by buying boxes, TCG boxes, getting a code with a box, and you can input that into your Zero. Now, Japanese card shops sell these codes for like 50 cents a piece. You know, you can buy them for literally nothing, and you just like, you know, you just buy a bunch and there you go. There's only 5 sleeves, 5 different sleeves per set, so it's pretty easy to get them. Like you spend like what, $2 or $3 just to get everything, and that's it. And then, you know, I get so many from my friends that don't need them from opening all their boxes in Japan, that I can give them away to my subscribers on Twitch or the YouTube channel members as well. And so I think that the way, you know, they distribute that in Japan is nice, but of course we've never really had that in English. You know, we never had like box topper kind of like codes or stuff like that. And for these sets we have like dice instead, which I think is a very cool thing to have. But in global, what they decided to do is just do retweet campaigns and a Facebook campaign where you basically get all the sleeves anyway. So you don't even need to buy boxes, you don't need to buy anything IRL to get those sleeves. You just log into the game and there you go. You're gonna get all 5 different VR sleeves throughout the month of September, you know, whether it's the Cross, Alter Ego Messiah, you know, all those different ones. And that's very, very cool. So I think that's a very good direction for them as well, because that actually makes it so that it's easier to get those sleeves than it is in Japan. Even though in Japan it's already easy, but you have to spend money. Whereas here, you just get them. So that's also very, very cool. Of course, the changes don't end there. The other big change is VP has been changed as well to match that of Japan. So now these, like the coins, have mostly been sort of removed, and instead you have more creation stones, you have gems in there as well. You know, Perfect Guard medals, Sentinel medals have always been there. You know, you have more creation stones, quite a lot because of rental. You know, we have more Sentinel medals, you have gems. I think it's actually more than Japan has. Japan doesn't even have these gems. You know what? That's actually something I just noticed. Japan doesn't have these gems. Japan's VP rewards go Sentinel medal, pack. No, I think here it's 3 packs, so I guess it's kind of this, still less. And then 10 packs, and then 1 up to 2 million. So that's how it goes in Japan. And so here actually you get even more, because you get 400, I think even more here, down here, right? 500 gems plus, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 17 packs just from getting to 1,000,000 VP. After that, you can still push for 10 more if you want to, or if you're doing a lot of ranked. So that VP reward is already very nice. Actually, no, 18. I missed one pack that I already got. So that's already a very cool kind of incentive, an extra reward that they added to that, which is very, very nice. However, it doesn't actually end there, because the other big change that they did was that they added a new bracket for ranked. Now this new bracket, what it is, you'll notice this, top 3,000. Top 3,000, that is something new. So what you see here is, you get not just the card of the season in SP up to top 3,000, but you even get a banner for top 3,000. I would like to remind you that in Japan, you only get banners for top 100, not even top 1,000. So that's something that's very, very huge in my opinion, that, you know, you get top 1,000 and top 3,000, then top 500, that is also not something you get a banner for, or that you get 2 SPs for in Japan. To get 2 SP copies of a rank reward, you have to get top 100. Here, when you get top 100, is again 2 SP copies and the bronze banner, and then you have 3 SP copies. You know, these are the same as they used to be, right? These are the same as they used to be. But to me, the amazing thing is top 3,000. This opens up the barrier of like getting the cards so much better. Like, I want to just check one thing here. Top 30 also gives the card, but does top 40 give the card now? No, they didn't change that. They kept it to 100 gems. So that's really cool. Let's take a look at what is the top 3,000 cutoff. No, this is top 100 cutoff. Okay, top 100 cutoff right now. We are what? On the 6th of September right now. It is top Legend 20. So it's not even that bad. It's actually quite similar to what it is in Japan right now. But the thing is that you also have, you know, the top 3,000 cutoff now. So you probably just need to get like Legend 15 or something by the end of the season to get into top 3,000, get yourself an SP copy. And this was an obvious thing that it should have done, because in the Japanese server, there's just less players. There's less people living in Japan than there are in the rest of the world, obviously. So from the start, to me, it looked problematic that they were going to keep this top 1,000 bracket. So I'm very glad that they expanded it to top 3,000. And even though the player base now has decreased, it's still very big. There's still a lot of people playing Zero globally. And so I think these changes are really, really nice. I think they're super welcome and honestly very necessary. This is something that had to happen in my opinion, and I'm very glad that Game Studio and Bushro decided to go in with these changes. Like, I think that this game had to get these changes just to like tell global players like, we are thinking about you and we want to kind of make the space one that is suitable for you, not just copy what Japan is doing and leave it at that. So I would applaud Game Studio for what they're doing here, you know, both with giving out the codes, the new login rewards. Also, dailies have changed as well. I believe they give out more stuff as well, so let me just quickly check here. So let's skip the event dailies here, but you know, we see the 30 things here is still the same, clear 5 dailies. So play rank fight gives 2 now. These used to give 1, and in Japan they still give 1. So playing a rank fight gives you 1. Playing 20 character fights gives you 2. Winning against 4 different characters gives you 2. And then giving a like gives you 1. So you get 7 of these. 7 of these things that convert into a pack per day. Therefore the amount, whereas Japan gets 4. Keep that in mind, Japan gets 4 of them. So the rate at which you get packs in global is way faster now, simply because of the dailies. So even though now, like, you'll see maybe like, oh, Japan will get another extra 10 packs for like a retweet campaign, you know, with the amount that that global will get from the just login rewards and dailies, I think just over time it's going to become more. Because I mean, sure, JP has like 3 months up ahead, you know, from global, but this is something else. Like, these dailies have been changed to respond to people's wishes, to respond to what the people want, and I think that that is absolutely amazing. So that was today's video. I wanted to highlight the changes that global has gone through and kind of just adapted in order to sort of like make the space more welcoming for the global players and make it so that they still want to stick around. So, you know, while I myself mainly play JP, I'm still gonna, of course, keep my global account, and I might just go back to it once, especially maybe next year, once like IRL tournaments start up again, and if they try to incorporate Zero into our BCSs, you know, the official like Vanguard like regional championships for the TCG, you know, I might still want to like participate, so obviously I would need a global account for that. So we'll see how they do in the future, but for now I think this is definitely a step in the right direction. But on that note, that's gonna be it for me today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.